Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. As we get set to send it to the stadium, a look at the man who's played cornerback could factor into the outcome of this one in a big way, if he's on his game. It's the Steelers going up against the Bears. Set for the call of this Week 15 matchup, here are Brandon Gotton and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you much, Larry. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, we reach Week 15, and we've got a good matchup in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon, and Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. They come in at the bottom of the NFL power rankings, and we understand why. They're 0-12.
And even beyond the power rankings, offense isn't playing very well. Defense is giving up a lot of points. That equals 0-12.
First carry for the tailback, Jeremy Langford. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
They keep it on the ground with Langford. Trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. Royal making the catch over the middle. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype.
The drive starts with a carry by Langford. And, oh, now it's out. Langford loses the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
They'll run with Langford to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop the jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
8 yards to go here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Cutler. Jeffrey with a catch left side. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Short of the sticks after that completion, and now it's 3rd down for this offense. Cutler now to throw on 3rd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. Their big tight end, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears draw big. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. This is Langford on 1st and 10. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup that time on what will wind up being the final play of this first quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. On 2nd down, Cutler looks for White, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Now, Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Onto the field now come the Bears. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake.
And that's caught inside the 30. Cutler to Jeffrey on the hook up there. 47 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
And this will be caught inside the 10. What a grab.
Absolutely zero surprise at that throw we just saw. I mean, Jay Cutler has a whip for an arm.
He's had it since he won his state title at Heritage Hills High School in southern Indiana.
Where in southern Indiana, though?
Well, he's born in Santa Claus. How about that?
That's pretty strong right there.
Nearby to my hometown of Evansville. Bet you've never been there, have you?
I have not been there, but I'm looking forward to being invited for a holiday cheer.
You're invited. Put that on your bucket list.
Thank you. And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Second and goal from the 5. Again, it's Langford. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
3 yards remaining here on second down. The lone setback is Langford. And they'll get it up the middle. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a play fake here on first down. Surveying the field. Pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. Lawrence Timmons leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Second down, Langford. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. That'll get them some of what they needed, but they're still left here with a 3rd and 9 forthcoming. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Cutler to Langford on the draw. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They run with Langford. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Now it's Cutler. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Offside, defense. Automatic first down.
After the penalty, it's Langford. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. To throw, Cutler. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now Cutler on first down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Cutler. Throwing right, and that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. On 3rd down, Cutler. And he's going to be taken down. Cutler sacked. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than...
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger marches onto the field. He's thrown. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them.
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They'll throw on first down with Cutler. Quick hitter here, it's complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make this a second down.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Now Cutler to throw on second down. He's got time in the pocket. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. 23 yards on the play.
Wow, I can't help it. When I see Jay Cutler throw the football and throw one like that with a big completion, I can't help but be impressed.
His arm strength, such an asset. Huh?
It really is, because it gets him in trouble sometimes, but I think it gets him out of trouble more often than that.
Langford again, busy man this afternoon. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On second down, here's Cutler. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. They bring a man off the corner that time, and he gets home for a loss of 6.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. Here's Cutler to throw. It's caught. Eddie Royal. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that 3rd down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
3rd time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on 3rd, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and... The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. This is Jeremy Langford's 20th carry. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. It's brought in by Kevin White. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Here's Langford. And he's brought down. They'll get 16 yards there. And it'll be 1st down Bears. And he is having a nice bounce-back game. I know in the meetings this week I kind of did the faux pas of asking, did he tweak something? Because he just wasn't sharp last week. They said no, he was fine, and he's showing that here in this one.
Dan, I was really glad that was you who asked that question.
I knew you would.
You know, I was like, hey, that's my man right there. Take one for the team. But I thought it was a legitimate question because the way he played last week, you wondered if maybe there was an injury that they hadn't discussed or talked about. They assured us no, and we're
back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing now, Cutler on 1st down. He's got time. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
This will be caught at the 2. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of...
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Now Cutler on 1st down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give him 27 yards that time. And it'll be a Chicago 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
On 1st down, it's Cutler. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 250 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
Good call.
Cutler now to throw on 3rd down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bears cut into that lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Time for a break as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Take it at the 37. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that.